Okay, this reading is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant for the month of June. And this month we have the full moon lunar eclipse on Fridays in this first week. And that's at 15 degrees Sag. So wherever that lands in your natal birth map, that will be the that will be the Friday that you have some type of culmination. Now, it depends on which house it's in your astrology chart, but wherever Sag is usually brings you a little more, it's fiery energy and it wants to get to the truth. So it usually brings you some awareness, some aha, of like, oh, okay, this is the truth. This is the way to go. Sagittarius is very directionally, motivated type of energy and consciousness. So you may have some awarenesses and some fruition that would come from the full moon to guide you on your path, which it looks like that goes with the cards too. So we'll look at that in a second. And on the third week here, on the 20th, we have the solstice, the first day of summer. That's, of course, the day that the sun returns to 0 degrees Cancer. And so it begins on Saturday here. It will begin summer, and Cancer energy, of course, is all about home and family. It honors all that is sacred. So with it being a new moon there, and especially being a solar eclipse, it's powerful energy. So you can look to the next 6 months beyond the first day of summer here, beyond the 20th. And new moon is good for setting your intentions, for getting that going in your life. But you can look to the next 6 months to to help you. It can be something that's a little more long term than just from the new moon to the full moon. When it's a solar eclipse, eclipses tend to like flip the energy. So if there's anything that hasn't been going the way you want, and you want to plant new seeds of consciousness, because that's what Cancer is all about, is new seeds, and they can definitely sprout in the next 6 months. You'll have more of what you want, which is great. Okay, and then on the 21st, the last week of the month here, last week on Sunday, of course, is Father's Day. Okay, and then I drew a few extra cards for these two cards here. Not a few, 2 extra cards for the last 3 days of the month, for the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Okay, so let's look at the first week. We have the 2 of Pentacles with the King of Pentacles. So this is really, really wonderful energy. For the 2 of Pentacles can sometimes be about negotiating. And in the Pentacles, of course, we're in the realm of money, we're in the realm of work, all things material, anything material. And it's also the realm of values. So it may very well be that you come into a greater awareness of what you really value, because sometimes this card can relate to juggling too much, and you're having to put one thing down and really focus on the other, and maybe not work on 2 things at once. There's that lesson sometimes that we need to adhere. Not all of us, not everybody can multitask, and those of us who can multitask, we can't always do it all the time anyway, right? Sometimes you just have to put one thing down and figure out what is the right thing to focus on first. Focus on that. And as we do that, the King of Pentacles is all about. Now, of course, this isn't gender specific. It's just the energy and consciousness of a culmination of getting something right, getting something the way you want it, getting something in a sustainable place so that you can sit back and relax and enjoy all that you've worked for. So that, I believe that there's something, towards the end of this first week here that you can realize, okay, I value something. Your values to a deeper degree, and then because of that, it helps you to get into a place where you can sit back and go, yeah, okay, that was the right way to go. Or those negotiations actually went really well because I got clear about the place that matters most to me. And and from there it can continue to grow and grow and grow. You can be in that benign circle of abundance when your values and your work and your work ethics and everything that you're moving towards is coming from a sustainable place. And that's especially true when it comes to Libra, because you're all about balance. And then here we are in the second week, we have the Libra card. And then also to remember, Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet Venus. It rules Taurus and Libra. So to reiterate again the importance of your values, understanding your values. That will maybe even be a lifelong lesson, because your values can change. And so, anyway, to get back to this second week here, it has to do with trying to approach something from a very unbiased, very objective point of view. She has her eyes closed. There's no blindfold with this, this particular card, which in the traditional Rider-Waite Smith deck, there is, she has, Lady Justice has a blindfold on, which is to clue us in that this, symbolically, it means that you want to come from an unbiased perspective when you're trying to make your decisions. But with this beautiful artwork, I see more of the mirroring, the as above, so below, the as within, so without. And it's to look within when you're trying to manifest, what it is that you want. But most of all, because for Libras, it can often be such a lifelong lesson, is to honor your humanity and honor, all aspects of your relationships, and to sometimes just to slow down and relax, and don't have to be all things to all people, that you get to have your healthy boundaries, and you get to relax, you get to not have to work all the time, to bring the equality like right down into your body, to bring that fairness and that balance, and that just that willingness to trust your body more will bring more of your spirit into your body, which is what the Star card is all about. Now, the Star card, it can be about hopes and dreams, but it's out there in the universe, and it's in the spirit world. It's there before you even totally can bring it down, just to know that it's whatever you're trying to create is already there in the spirit world for you. It's just our life task to, open up to all of our creations and bring them through us. So, but at the highest levels, this card, it has to do with faith. Now, sometimes, we have to kind of fake it until we make it. Like we're testing faith, we're testing, do I really want to hope completely in that? Or how, to what level do I need to work on my hopelessness? Sometimes it's hopelessness that we have to deal with. Like if we're not in the full faith and trust that if we stay balanced and we open to our spirit and our guides and the universe, the divine order of the universe, source, God energy, whatever you want to call it, if we can trust that that's there for us, then it will be, and then we will learn that life actually is fair. I've never believed that life isn't fair. I believe that life is fair, except for on Earth, it's not perfect. So that's where we can, get out of, we can be in a dualistic kind of a split instead of being in the divine paradox, is knowing that, just because we haven't manifested everything exactly the way we want, or life isn't exactly the way we want, or we're not treated exactly the way we want, or we don't feel honored or loved or respected sometimes, that does not mean anything about your lovability, your self-worth. You're still more than worthy, just because, still more than worthy even if people don't see that. You're still beautiful even when people don't see your beauty. It's not often that we have mirrors of, a mirror in the other of, how beautiful and wonderful we are. When we do, those are blessings, and you want to hang on to that, because they're mirroring the truth to you, and they must love themselves enough to be able to love you that way too. So that's where to place your faith, in that it's within. Just find the place within where you have your self-worth, and know that in the spirit, the inner being, the cosmic intelligence, the divine intelligence that lives within you, that's who you really are. And so that's the challenge, to always ground in and bring down, like go to that place. It's actually, it's out there, but it's really within here first. But we tend to, sometimes in our hopeless places, we tend to look outside of ourselves for our light. And the Justice card will tell us, come back in. It's always about coming back in and balance out the two forces of the inner and the outer. And to know that it's always an inside job. So I believe that this week there'll be more, I don't want to say lessons, I want to say opportunities. There'll be at least one opportunity to get yourself more balanced, so that you can open up to the universe. Maybe it's just taking a break and laying in a hammock and looking up at the stars one night, or laying in a lawn chair and looking up at the stars. Maybe it's just that simple place where you can just let go and let the beautiful web of the universe that we're protected in, let that be reflected to you. That would be a really beautiful way to end the week, wouldn't it? And then with the third week here, this looks like a busy week. So I believe that, these 2 weeks before are kind of leading up to the mid-month, where there's so much energy coming in that you're going to have to kind of control it. You're going to have to go into your, now, and there's some beauty here too, because Justice is ruled by Libra, and the polar opposite of Libra is Aries. And this is a very Aries, fiery Mars. I can control my reality. I can create what I want. I can have the four corners of my home safe and protected. I can protect my family. All the things that somebody who's taking self-responsibility for their lives and for those that they love. That's what they do, right? This is the divine father of the tarot. Okay, you've got the Empress as the mother. This is the divine father. So it looks to me like this will be a week of organizing reality, knowing that you have all that you need in order to do that. It's just that there might be so much coming at you at once. It might be really good to go back to that place where you know that, okay, I don't have to do it all this week. I can look long term. I can take notes. All this information that's coming in and all this energy that's coming at me from other people and other sources, or just out in the ethers, and you're tuned into it. I can take notes. I can write it all down, and then I've got my list. And you get to it best that you can, but still keeping yourself balanced. You don't have to stress out. Okay, so then in the fourth week here, we have Father's Day. So I hope it's a very restful, nesting type of energy for fathers this day. But for this week, we have two fours here. So fours are about structure, which of course the Emperor is about here too. So structures, but with the beginning of the week, I would say hopefully it's more restful. This is definitely a more contemplative, meditative, maybe you're starting the week out from for Sunday, which would be wonderful, and Father's Day, to have the time to rest and have the time to take a nap if you need, meditate, just, it's more of an inwardly day, I would believe, but then, I mean, a perfect Father's Day to me would be, sleeping in, breakfast in bed, more dream time, might even get a nap, and then lots of celebrating with my family, right? If I was a dad, that would be perfect. So whether you're the dad or you're honoring your dad, then it doesn't matter which it is, because we're all one, we're all in this together, and we can all honor dads, we can all take care of ourselves and meditate and take naps if we need, and we all love, of course, being with our family. And if it's not a family, it can still be other people that you love in your life. And if it's not actually getting together with them, then maybe it's conversations. This energy, the Four of Wands, is about celebrating. It's always celebrating. So let's imagine in some scenario where you can't get together with anybody for some reason or another, or maybe your dad, like my dad, has crossed over and I can't honor him. I can still honor my sons. I can still honor all the dads in the world. I can still celebrate, what fatherhood is, and give honor to, the dads that covered ourselves, took care of us, and then also, if there's any place within you that needs to heal any issue with your father, the energy's there for that too. And the Four of Wands, in the highest level, is celebrating that with others. It's definitely, if you do, if you are able to get out, and I know we're in our social distancing still, and we're trying to be very careful. It may or may not be physically together, but it's still celebratory. These are weddings. These are events that bring people together. This could be, usually graduation is before Father's Day, but it could be some type of a celebration that's online. Or if it's outside, ideally if it were outside, you still have your social distancing. But this is definitely about family and events and celebrating something. So I'll leave it up to you guys to let me know how it turned out, what it actually, how it played out for you. And even if it was, that you're alone, you still have ways to celebrate coming together in your heart, and you can still put that love out there into the universe. And you can still call people. You can still have, friendly conversations with people, even if they aren't your family. We can still share, always. Okay, so with the last few days, so the 28th, 29th, and 30th, there's definitely some recognition and honor that you're going to be receiving. You may be giving and receiving because of the the energy here with the prior week. There could be this definitely could be some type of graduation experience, and if that's the case, though, soak it up, soak it up and give it out, whatever it is, and then. This is really interesting to have all these wands here, for the 6 and the 7 of Wands. The 6 of Wands, of course, is about being recognized. It's some type of an achievement. It's some type of an honor. It's some type of a victory. Even if it's not coming from the outer world, I definitely want you to pat yourself on the back for whatever it is you're able to achieve this whole month, because that's what the spirit world is asking you to do. Because I always, when I meditate and shuffle and draw these cards, it's a long process. That's why I don't do it on video, because you'd be so bored. It takes forever. But so I always set the intention to ask, what are the opportunities that will be coming for whatever the sign. So sun, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant for Libras, the opportunities that will be coming for you to spiritually grow will be to pat yourself on the back, allow yourself to be recognized, allow yourself to be honored. Libras are very good at loving and honoring others, so there may be that as well. But for you to take it in as well. That's what I want for you. And then with the Seven of Wands, we're in the realm here where you may have to set a boundary around what you will and will not stand for. It's often the card of taking a stand. You don't have to wall yourself off in a bubble here, and you don't have to pray for all the white light and pink light and all that other stuff. Love is your only protection, right? It doesn't have to be a mental exercise. But the true sense of the word, or the true sense of the meaning of the card here symbolically, is that your love, your inner love, is your protection. And so if you can just go into that loving energy, you don't have to pray for it to be inside of you. You just have to say to yourself, I open to the love I have within me, and I open to the love in the universe to receive my pure intentions. And then from there you are protected. But there's some way by the end of this month here, where you're going to have a stronger sense of your boundaries, a stronger sense of what it is that you need to stay balanced, and to act from that place of faith and knowing that you deserve that balance, that you don't have to, burn the candle at both ends. You don't have to overwork. You don't have to push yourself. What is needed is to just stay balanced and present within your body. And then everything else will work out from there. And you can make all the plans that all the energy will come through to make the plans that you want for the future. And then to pat yourself on the back towards the end of the month and be really, really aware, truly aware of all the love that you give and the love that you can receive, to be grateful for the love that you've received. And from there, just to get inside the true energy and consciousness of this card, is that just to know that your love is your only protection, and to take a stand wherever you need to in your life where you're not feeling loved and honored. And know that you got to do it yourself first. You need to love and honor yourself first, because again, I'll say it forever, it's always an inside job. And life won't be perfect. No one's ever going to love you and honor you perfectly the way you deserve. Rarely. I shouldn't say never, because that's a little dualistic, but it's rare. You're doing great if half the time people love you the way you deserve to be loved, because most of the time we're all just in our own stuff, and we're all very, humanly imperfect, and that's just the way life is. So there may be some place here where you're learning not to give your power away, because to go into vicious circles of I have to do this, I have to do that, they have to love me this way, everything has to be a certain way, just gets you spinning. It's not, you won't get to the beautiful pleasure and bliss that you are inside by doing that. But you can get to that beautiful blissed out place by just relaxing, dropping in, bringing your energy back in, and opening up to to opening up to the inner spirit that that you are, and it's it's always waiting to unfold in whatever creative ways that you want to give out. But you may have to have more rest. You may have to do more meditation and rest in order to balance out all the energy for this month, because it does look like a very full month to me. It looks like there's a lot of work and a lot of exchange of energy and lots of actually celebrating too, which can be sometimes sometimes all the great things that happen to us are also stressful, and we have to we have to come back inside and integrate. You know, this is the Four of Swords is definitely about integrating. Okay, so the more you do that, the more you integrate, then the more you can open up to the beautiful future that's ahead of you. So, okay, I think that's it. Yeah, so feel free to drop me, you know, comments in the comment section, or emails if you have questions. But I love comments and any connection with you guys, so I appreciate it. And thank you, you know, for all the new subscribers and the likes. I appreciate that as well. Okay, and I'll be back in July. Okay, bye. Take good care.